The graphic organizer begins with the 6 traits of writing being what everything else branches off from. So first, the 6 traits of writing branches off to balanced literacy. Balanced literacy is made up of interactive writing, shared writing, and independent writing. While each of these are very different, they all use the 6 traits of writing, just looking a little bit different. So in interactive and shared writing, the teacher is more scaffolding the students with their 6 traits, so showing them what it looks like to come up with ideas, showing them what it looks like to organize, in interactive, helping them do that. And then in independent writing, this is more independent for the student. They are doing their own writing and they are incorporating the 6 traits of writing themselves. So then going back to 6 traits of writing and going down, we have mini lesson. This is because all of these 6 traits of writing can be taught through mini lessons in writing. So we have 6 traits, the first one being ideas. So ideas, that is when the student is coming up with the main message of their piece and all of the details. So for an example, this could be done through a graphic organizer like this, or simply making a list of things that they want to write about someday. These are all ideas of how to come up with ideas. And next we have organization. Organization is the structure or the roadmap for the reader of the student's writing. When I was working with my CSS, he had a really hard time with organization. He went from what happened in the beginning of the story to what happened in the end to what happened in the middle to what happened in the beginning to what happened in the middle to what happened in the end. And he was kind of all over the place with no real roadmap, and so to read it was very difficult. So we did an exercise where we literally cut out every piece or every sentence of his writing and went back and decided if they were beginning, middle, or end. And once we had done that, we put his story in order. So a lot of times this is a narrative structure of beginning, middle, and end. And then ideas and organization are both part of the rehearsing, pre-writing, and drafting stage of writing. Then we will move into the third trait of voice, and voice is the personality of the reader the personality of the writer that should come across to the reader. So this is what makes the writing authentic and interesting to the reader. Then we have word choice, which is the language that keeps readers interested instead of getting bored. So this is using powerful verbs and adjectives instead of just the same old words repeated over and over again. And then we have sentence fluency. Sentence fluency is the rhythm and the flow of the sentences and of the whole story. So, for example, my CSS, I had him read his sentences out loud so he could hear the flow or the flow, like the lacking in flow of his own writing, and be able to change that so that it sounded more like something he would actually say. That was very helpful for him. And so these three, voice, word choice, and sentence fluency, are a part of the revising stage of writing. Our last trait of the 6 is editing. Our last trait of the 6 is conventions, which is a part of the editing stage of writing. Conventions are the spelling, the punctuation, the capitalization, things that get you ready for publishing your story. And so that, after you've done all of the pre-writing, drafting, revising, and editing with your 6 traits, it's time for the student to move into the sharing and publishing stage. And this is part of the sharing time in writing. And so in my placement, we did sharing time every day in Writer's Workshop. Our teacher would pick a student at each table to get to share the writing that they had done. And so they'd get to show their picture that they drew and then get to read what they had written in their story. And this helped the other students come up with ideas or, ask questions to further the writing and things like that, that all helped them become better writers.